Take my hand and we can go walking, and we can talk about whatever is on your mind. Be my friend, but secretly like me. I wanna catch you staring and make you go alright.
As I was saying, we have our Parents Association here with us, supporting us and working with us on our fundraiser for our outdoor classroom. We also have Mr. David Cryan, a former participant in Operation Transformation, and David has come along today all the way from Roscommon to inspire us and motivate us and to encourage us to get out there and start walking in this lovely springtime. We have Emer Higgins, TD, who's with us, always supporting us, always there for us, and has joined us today and is fully supportive of our outdoor classroom and our whole building project as well. We have our Rosie's Garden students who are here, fabulous students who've been working hard on Rosie's Garden for quite some time now, doing all of that hard work that we will all benefit from. And of course, if there are any parents and friends of St. Joseph's who are out there watching today, you're very welcome and thank you for joining us. So our Wellbeing Walk is going to take place on the 3rd of March, and that's just a few weeks away. So why are we doing it? Well, there are two main reasons. The first is it's good for our health, okay? And you, the students in St. Joseph's, have asked for more walks, okay? We know how hard it is for you to be in the classrooms with the masks on all day, and I have to compliment you. You are brilliant. You've never complained once. You've always done what we asked you to do, and you're marvellous. But you do like to get out into the fresh air now more than ever. So we've listened to you and we've organised the Wellbeing Walk and other walks in your SPHE and or religion classes, okay? We're working on trying to get you outside more, and therefore we're developing an outdoor classroom and also Rosie's Garden, and both of those will be side by side down at the end of the basketball courts on the grassy area that you will be familiar with. Now there are some images here behind me. I'm not sure if you can see them, but you can come down later on today and have a look at them. Some lovely images of the vision that we have for Rosie's Garden and the outdoor classroom. And we can see Sister Rosario, who worked here in St. Joseph's, and Rosie's Garden is a memory of Sister Rosario. And we can also see the plans and design of the plan for the outdoor classroom. So it's really beautiful. And you can see as well all of the efforts that our generous parents and friends of St. Joseph's have made already in terms of donations to the school for the outdoor classroom for our students. I want to say a special word of thanks to Sandra Cosgrove. Sandra is one of our past pupils, and she's the landscaper who's working on Rosie's Garden. And I have to say, Sandra is so vibrant and so creative, and we're really looking forward to seeing the garden come to life. So we have to do our part as well. So we're all going on our Wellbeing Walk on the 3rd of March. And Miss Bly has arranged for you to get a sponsorship card today. You should have received one. If you didn't, by all means come down to Miss Bly and we will give you one. And we're asking each student in the school to do their best to get some sponsorship on that sponsorship card for the outdoor classroom. Now we have 910 students in the school, so if each student was to come back with €10 on the sponsorship card, that would be almost €10,000. Now we know from past experience that some of you out there have raised phenomenal amounts when we've done fundraising in the past. But if everybody was to bring back €10, at least we'd have just under €10,000 to go towards it. We know we can do this if we put our minds to it. You know, I always tell you, you are the most wonderful group of students. You really, really are, and we're blessed to be working here with you. All of the staff and management would say that. And we want to improve the school for you. We want to have the best facilities. We have a wonderful parents association working with us, but we need now to put the effort in as well to get as much sponsorship as possible on those cards. So please do your best. Now, our Parents Association has also set up a GoFundMe page, and donations can be made on the GoFundMe page to the outdoor classroom. The link is on the website. It's also in a letter that was sent out to parents. And if anybody is wondering about that link, where it is, if you can't find it, by all means come and ask us. But at the moment, you'll see it on the Twitter feed. And that is for friends of St. Joseph's, parents of St. Joseph's, anyone who feels they're in a position to make a donation to our outdoor classroom. Now, I really want to take the opportunity to thank the Parents Association for all of the work that they have been doing for St. Joseph's College. They're always supporting us. Through the whole pandemic, they supported us in so many ways. And if you go outside now and look at all of those lovely picnic benches that are out in the yard, the Parents Association got those for us, okay? And it's a fabulous resource to have. The ice cream van that arrived before Christmas, it was the Parents Association, the 2 ice cream vans that came in to give the students and the staff a treat before Christmas that lifted our spirits. In the dark days of December, it was the Parents Association. They're doing their best for us. We now need to row in behind them and cooperate with them, and we'll all work together to get this outdoor classroom into reality. Now, we have a very special speaker with us today. And if you remember, I did say at the beginning, there were 2 reasons why we were doing our Wellbeing Walk. First of all, it's a fundraiser, but also it's good for our health. It's good to get outdoors. We've realised now, I hope more than ever, over the last 2 years, our health is our wealth, and we have to mind it. We have to get out into the fresh air. And we have a special speaker with us today, and the person is Mr. David Cryan, a former participant on Operation Transformation. And as I said, David has come all the way from Roscommon to us today to talk about his story and also about the benefits of exercise, looking after your health and well-being. So David, you're very welcome. Thank you for coming along today, for motivating us, for supporting our initiative, and I'm going to invite you now to speak to the students. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, I just get the presentation to get back to study, so I won't keep you too long. My name is David Cryan. I was a participant on Operation Transformation. Does everyone know what Operation Transformation is? I know I won't get feedback. I'm taking everyone would have a good idea what Operation Transformation was. I was on it in 2018 and it changed my life, basically. I'm no expert. I don't want to think that I'm, but what I share in this presentation is my story, basically, and hopefully someone will get something out of it. It's probably more aimed at the Parents Association, and because the students, you might be looking at me going and saying, what are you talking about? But in time, maybe you might remember that David Cryan come to your school and talking. So I'll start. Okay, David Cryan, I lived in Lucan for 20 years. I know Sheena from the Parents Council, and she asked me to come back up. Loved living in Lucan. It's an absolutely brilliant town, village. But I'm from Roscommon. I'm very, very proud. It's great to see someone else here from Roscommon in the Parents Association. Normally I'd ask, is any connections with Roscommon, but I'm sure there's a few more Rossies in the place. Inspector David Cryan, I'm a member of Garda Síochána. I'm now currently at the rank of Inspector, and I'm stationed in Roscommon Garda Station. I joined the Guards in July 1999. I was 20 years of age. Absolutely love my job. I was sent from Templemore straight up to Whitehall in Drumcondra. You may or may not know it. It's now the city morgue. So a lot of people say a lot of more work has been done there now. After that, I spent 3 years in Santry in plainclothes. I was armed, got promoted to sergeant there, ended up in the Bridewell in the city centre behind the forecourts. There for the first 2 years, I was the prison sergeant. So basically every prisoner arrested in Dublin was come through me. Tough job, hard going. Then I was SHO, which was in charge of the station. And then I went into community policing, which I find the biggest difference I can make within the Guards is in community policing. Then I realised I wasn't looking after myself and I was concentrating on my career, and I joined Operation Transformation. And after that, I got promoted to inspector. So I get Pinty Sligan in the station, and I said, if you see me living with Lucy, I'm going for the next jump. So I'm now an inspector, and with COVID coming in, and I have a little one that would be at risk, I decided with my family, I'm from Roscommon, and we moved down to Roscommon, and I'm currently an inspector in Roscommon. I'm a husband, I'm a dad, and I'm a proud Rosie. This is very important. What people see me, I normally do this in uniform. You just see the uniform, you don't realise what's going on. I'm married to Siobhan, I have 2 kids, Zoe and Dylan, and you're sick of me saying about Roscommon. Yeah. Background to health and fitness. So when I was in secondary school like yourselves, I played county football, I played basketball, I played rugby, played soccer, played everything, did everything. Loved it, joined the Guards, it was great, I was nice and fit. Came to Dublin, different things happened. I joined a club up here, I played with the Garda club here in Westminstertown, and started not looking after myself, started losing a little bit of interest, still trying to play a bit of football, but not playing as much as I used to. And over time, I forgot about my health and fitness. But I want you to remember, you have to think, I still think I'm a county footballer. Okay, I hope you can't see this picture, I presume, here in this room. Okay, so there's a picture on the screen, can everyone else see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Brilliant. So you can see I like to dance. This is a mate's wedding, and decisions change. Why did I decide to take something and such drastic to join Operation Transformation? And these pictures what I'm trying to show. So in 2017, this was at a wedding, and this is in November 2017 when I was given blood. And you can see I had put on weight, but also I wasn't looking after myself mentally as well. Weight became unmanageable. So I was a young, fit fella, joined the Guards. No issues with training, and but then started working shift work, not eating the right food, not looking after myself, and I slowly but surely put on weight. I ended up, before I joined Operation Transformation, I became 19.5 stone, which is unmanageable for my weight. Family circumstances, as I said, I have 2 kids, and this is a big part of my journey as well. I have Dylan, who's 9 now, and I have Zoe, who's 7. Zoe was born at 24 weeks. My wife was admitted to the Coombe Hospital at week 18. We were preparing for bad news. But Zoe, on week 24, and the day I was working nights too that night, she arrived unexpectedly, and as you can imagine, it was very, very early, so there was a big hullabaloo there. So we ended up spending a good year, about 6 months in the Coombe, and that's where I met Sheena, and we went in from there to Crumlin Hospital, spent another 5 months in there. She has issues, she has cerebral palsy, she's wheelchair bound mostly now, she can't swallow, and other issues like that. But she's an absolute legend. She's here for a reason, she keeps me on my toes. From what they told us that first time to where she is right now, you wouldn't recognise her. She's a fighter, and we'll have challenges going on, but that is just part of my story of not looking after myself. Work-life balance. You're in school, it's great. You don't have to worry about work-life balance, but school-life balance is very, very important as well. You can't just, what I've learned is you can't have everything one way, everything school, and not looking after your personal life and enjoying life as well, and taking that walk and doing that time to yourself, and spending time with your friends. What I was doing, the reason I was spending everything at work. I couldn't fix Zoe, I couldn't do anything. Siobhan had to give up her career as a secondary school teacher, and so I said, right, what can I do to fix things? And I started working 17, 18-hour shifts. Wasn't the right thing to do, I found. And most importantly, I couldn't do it myself. And everything I learned on my journey is you have to bring people with you, and you have to be, because if you do it alone, it's easier. Your mind will give up and it's easier. So it's the first time I met it going on Operation Transformation. That's the big thing going on Operation Transformation, is couldn't do it myself. The process. So the application, being a guard, is not as easy as you think to get into Operation Transformation. So I said nothing to no one at first, and there's phone calls, and then the video girl comes out and different things. So they have to make sure that I'm mentally strong and able for it. But when I got to the final 20, I had to get permission from work. So as you can imagine, being a guard, it's just secrecy in different things that we have to do. We've been very cautious, and I want to make sure that I'm telling the right story as well. So I went to my superintendent and I asked her, I said, I have an idea, and I've always come up as a community sergeant in the North Inner City, fabulous area, really fabulous area. Gets bad press sometimes, but really, really good people. So I've always come up with different ways of getting in and helping, and that's what we do with guards. We help people, and went to the superintendent and I said, super, good idea. And the first thing she said to me, like good superintendent, is it going to cost me money? And I said, no. I said, I think I'm going to join an operation transformation. And she goes, right. And she looks me up and down and she says, why, Davy, you're not too bad. I said, well, thank you, super, but I'm not happy. I'm overweight. I want to lose 3 stone. And she goes, grand. And she said, look, I fully support you. And she did it. She sent a report to the press office and she gave me permission from that. And I got 3 words back, this is approved. And I went for it then. So it begins. Life-changing what it was. It's, how to put it, it was something I didn't realize that I needed to do. But when you have a TV cameraman with you and in the room with you, it's amazing how well you can stick to a plan. So the diet and exercise plan. So I'll talk about the diet first. My diet wasn't great. I was working shift work. I used to love the chipper food, have the Chinese, think I might go for a run thinking that would solve that problem, but no, but I wasn't eating right. And so I got the diet from Aoife. On the show, there's Aoife, the dietitian, there's Carl Henry, the fitness, Eddie, the psychologist, and at that time was Dr. Ciara Kelly. And I remember getting the fitness. So you have to remember, I said I was I still thought I was a county footballer in my head, right? So I got the plan from Carl Henry. I remember getting it, and Carl, I ring him and I said, Carl, this is way too easy. I said, this must be Mary, the girl. Mary was from Castlebar. I said, this must be Mary's plan. This can't be my plan. And I said, I'm putting myself out there. I'm representing myself. I'm representing my family. I'm representing the guards. I have to do this right. And Carl said, did you do anything yet? I said, no, I didn't. And yeah, he goes, right. He said, give me 4 days on the plan, right? And ring me. And if it's too easy after 4 days, I look at it. So I said, grand, and I started. I did it around Lucan, Griffin Village, and I started here, and I was couch 5K. Many people don't couch 5K. It's very easy starting off 7, and then you work hard for a minute, and then resistance other days. So every second day, 30 minutes a day. That's what I did. On the 4th day, I couldn't move my body. Right, I was absolutely in bits. I remember ringing Carl, right, and I said, Carl, I apologise. I will not question you again, and I stick to the plan you gave me. It's well hard enough. And what I learned from that, and that's 4 years on, and what I'm doing ever since that, I was never building the foundation. And your students in school, you're now at the start. You're building your foundation. You're building for your life, your college, for everything. You're building a foundation now, and this time is so important for you. You're building your friends that you're still with. So what I wasn't doing, I was never building. I was always skipping 2 or 3 weeks in my fitness plans and stuff like that, thinking I need to go work hard, and that's not the way to do it. You start, like as I said to young guards when I get this presentation, is like we're doing an investigation. You start, you have building blocks, and you start at the very beginning. And when the foundation is solid, everything else falls from that. So that's what I learned, what I kept doing. Work-life balance and mental health. As I said, my work-life balance was completely screwed one way. I was completely throwing myself into work. I was genuinely probably not admitting to myself in relation to Zoe. I got great support. My colleagues were absolutely brilliant. The nurses in Coombe were absolutely amazing. The people in Crumlin were amazing. And I just got on with it and did it. And people used to wonder why, geez, how can Davy come into work? And I had to keep working as well. I had a young son, and my mother-in-law moved in with me for a while as well. Yeah, so so it was all going, all busy. So the most important thing I learned on Operation Transformation, and something I never knew, especially as a man, I was 38 years of age, was my mental health. And that's what I really kind of talk about it. Dr. Eddie, the only thing mandatory on the show, that don't make you do anything, and the only thing mandatory on the show is that you talk to Dr. Eddie's psychologist. And I remember Dr. Eddie coming to my house and welcoming me to come in. I said, Eddie, I didn't ask you to come to my house, but I know I have to do it. So as I said, I'm a guard. I had prisoners before me many times. And right, get this over, spend the next half an hour, no comment on whatever I have to do and get through it. Eddie's very, very good at his job. Within 15 minutes, I was crying. He had opened up something that I didn't know was there, even though I was getting pains in my chest a year or 2 previously, that I wasn't dealing with issues. You can't force other things down because it's still there. And what he discovered was, it wasn't my job, it wasn't working. I had seen some bad things at work. It wasn't that. It was basically, I probably hadn't dealt with Zoe, probably hadn't accepted that our plans had totally changed because Zoe will have challenges and issues of the rest of her life. And that's what we discussed about. And I remember that day, after that, I felt very down after that chat with him. And Brother Kevin, I don't know, you know Brother Kevin, amazing man, you work on, he just rang me out of the blue. He didn't even know I was from Dr. Eddie. And I had a chat with him, a good talk with him. Next day at work, I said, what did I say? This is going to be on telly. What did I do? I'm an idiot. And I was really down, and that was on the Wednesday. Thursday, and Thursday to this day now, totally different person. I totally understand it, and I have no problem talking about it. It's because what I'm trying to get to you now, and you'll see in time, it's so important to talk. You have stress of mock exams and leaving certs, and will there be exams and different things. It is so important to talk to your friends, your family, your parents, everything else. Because when I talk about a problem now, it's half the problem. And what I really do with my fitness and exercise is, when I have a bad day or a stressful day, I go over that 30-minute run or 30 minutes walk or do something, and it makes a huge difference. So that was probably the best thing I did in Operation Transformation. So this is the food plan. Now this is for shift work. I'm not going to go into it, but basically for you, it's 3 main meals: breakfast, lunch and dinner, and 2 snacks during a 24-hour period. Especially when you're doing a lot of studying and stuff like that, it's important to look after what you eat. As you get older, you'll see if you start working shift work and different things like that, you have to try and manage that. Planning and preparation is the key to everything in life. And this is what I wasn't doing before. So the picture on the left hand is I was working a 15-hour shift, and I planned and prepared my day. Tulsk is my club, GA club down in Roscommon, and I bring that bag everywhere to work. So I start work at 7 o'clock in the morning, have my breakfast with Weetabix. Lunch, I parade the lads and get them out in the street to make sure everyone's safe, and I eat my breakfast. Then at lunch, I would go for a run around the Bridewell at that stage. Now it's around Roscommon. Come back and have my turkey sandwich. I was covering it that day, so I worked on, so I bought my home cooked lasagna. I would never have, before Operation Transformation, thought I had to bring my breakfast, lunch and dinner with me. But I was doing a 15-hour shift. What I would have done before is probably would have got a breakfast roll, no lunch, and a chipper food. That's what I was doing. So plan and preparing. More importantly, water. The more water you drink, the better for you, and it's good for when you're doing your studies and stuff like that. And this can be done. I don't know if you can see it. The bottom right-hand corner is the Bridewell Garda station. If you know it in there, the Lewis there. And this is the way we used to do it at work. A very quick story about work is, I remember one day I had 3 different people coming at me at different things, my super and inspector and I was covering, and one of the girls in my unit, and we got into a habit and a routine, said, Davey, have you done your run? And I hadn't. And I remember looking at my watch about 1 o'clock and I was going to miss lunch. And I said, right, for that 30 minutes I did this run, and without her, we ran, we showered and did the lunch afterwards. All the problems before that run were so smaller after that run. And people in and around that area, and this is my community area as well, the flats there, you go, geez, there's Davey running again, and how are you girls and running. And it was a great way of getting into the community as well. And it's so important taking that 30 minutes. And people say to me, I haven't got time. Well, no one else will give you the time unless you take it yourself. Before, now, I'm hoping you can see that. I'm hoping you can see a difference. Yeah, so that was me beforehand, and that was me on the left-hand side finishing the cycle from the Bridewell Dublin to Bridewell Cork. So you can think I thought I was fit, but it wasn't about fitness as well. I wasn't looking after myself wholly. And then this is me at the Bridewell Garda station as a sergeant, and this is me now down at an open day down in Ennis. So I'm hoping you can see a big difference. So what do I do now to stay motivated? I'm conscious you're really mad to get back into study. What do I do? How do I keep motivated? Okay, and this is a question a lot of people ask me, and it is hard. I'm 4 years down the road, I'm still at it, and I will always be at it. So you set yourself a target. What I say to people is, and most people ask me about weight and stuff like that, and I'm no expert when it comes to weight, but set yourself a target. So if you want to lose 6 pounds, you set yourself that target. You're going to lose 6 pounds or whatever you want to do. You set yourself a time. I tell people, just do it for 4 weeks. Just work. Operation Transformation, food plan, and all that is all online. It's all free. If you follow that for 4 weeks, I guarantee it does work. More importantly, get support, build a team. That's on my right-hand side there is my unit. And this is the year after Operation Transformation. So that was important to show they were on my shoulder the whole way through my whole journey. And that we're a year into it, we're still doing it together. It makes yourself more accountable. It's get your family involved, get your friends involved. If someone's calling to your door and says, come on, we're going for a 30-minute walk, you will do it. Where if you've no one calling to your door, it's raining outside, you might say, look, no, I'm not going to do it today. And the last thing and the most important thing in anything you do in life, you have to work hard. It's not easy. So for me, fitness and health, it's not easy. It's constantly making the different difficult decisions of what to do. And sometimes like I went for a run this morning before I left for Roscommon, and I said to myself, oh, well, I lie in, I'm going to go for a light drive. But I did my run because I knew I won't get time later on, and I feel so much better for it. And if you work hard, hard work pays off. This is October 2017. This is February 2018. please say you see a difference. Yeah. What I love about the picture on the right hand side is the RT bought me that suit, right? And I don't the thing with they bought me that suit. I'm very proud of that suit. Now, not that we had many weddings or things to go to the last 2 years, but I'm wearing the trousers today, right? Just to prove to myself that it still fits, and it's very important that I keep monitoring myself in that way. 18 months later, as I discussed, the Park Run was a huge thing for me. The Briefing Park Run was absolutely, the support I got there was absolutely amazing. The picture on the left, I don't like. My wife took that picture of me and we were fighting on different things. I couldn't understand why she would give it out to me. And I didn't see that picture for a long time. And I had to be, I had to make that decision to change that. So I've done the 50th Park Run there about 2 years ago now, up to 72 now, and it was huge. So I hate looking at a picture on the left hand side, but it's important for me to remind myself. And then just to finish off, I added this slide in after the 2 years we've had. Like today's struggles, what you're going through now in school, like COVID, and I work remotely, anxiety. Like you have missed 2 years of being young, basically. And I feel, as a guard, I feel very, very sorry for you and how tough it's been. But you've been amazing. And all the groups I work with, and I train underage teams, you have been absolutely amazing. Anxiety you must be feeling for the last 2 years. I just can't imagine it. I felt it as well myself. The limit on our exercise, the 2K, the 5K, 10K. Trust me, as guard, we didn't want to be out there stopping people doing stuff like that. We had to do it for the betterment of the whole country. And I must say, young people really stepped up. I must say, I would absolutely compliment them. The struggles was the Park Run stopped, the limited exercise. The last 2 lockdowns had been tough for me. I saw myself go back into my old habits again. But it's amazing when you keep yourself accountable, and I knew coming here, it just kicks you back into gear. I changed my work structure, working hours, changing sport, me moving from the city after spending 20 years living in Dublin. I moved down home again, and I have different friends, but I hadn't got that same support going for a run and different things like that. Family is so important. At the end of the day, they will always be there. My 2 younger sisters fight like cat and dogs growing up, but they are inseparable now, and they tell everything each other. So important. And the last thing is keeping yourself accountable. It's like leaving sort of keeping yourself accountable when you're doing your schoolwork. Is just saying, what do you want? You do feel better when you actually get that 30 minutes. So just before I finish up, okay, remember, only you can give yourself the time. No one else will say to you, especially to the Parent Association, your husband, your partner, or anything else will not say to you, do you know what? You take that 30 minutes. No one will do it. And for students here as well, no one will actually say to you, go for that 30-minute walk. And what I love this idea of Rosie's garden and Joey's outdoor classroom now. I'm hoping the rain won't affect it too much, but it is absolutely fabulous. So it's a place where you can go, take time. It's only 30 minutes a day. And when you're feeling stressed, and I've told that to many people, take a 2-minute walk. That problem will not be as bad afterwards. Thanks very much.
Inspiring talk and for sharing your story with us. I certainly have started to reflect myself on the extent to which I am taking responsibility for my own health and well-being. I think I will be putting those crisps aside at lunchtime. I will be trying to get out for a walk even for 25 minutes this evening, because I realise from listening to you, you need to actually give the time to yourself, and nobody else is going to take responsibility for that. Your health is precious. We need to mind it. And I hope you will get out walking, and I'm really looking forward to our walk on the 3rd of March. All of us together, we'll do it together. In the meantime, please do get your sponsorship cards out. I also want to say a very special word of thanks to Marie-Claire. Marie-Claire Bly is the architect who is working on the outdoor classroom, on the design of the outdoor classroom. Marie-Claire is listening in today, and I want to thank you, Marie-Claire, for all of your patience and your expertise in the design of our outdoor classroom and canopy. Now we have Marissa Guest from the Parents Association, who's going to talk for a few minutes. Thanks, Marissa.
Hello everyone, my name is Marissa Guest and I am a past pupil of St. Joseph's, hashtag class of 1992, and I'm also a member of the Parents Association. I'm very proud to be part of this amazing campaign which promotes well-being and provides a fantastic outdoor space for our girls here at Joey's. We want to make this space the best possible space that it can be. So we're really encouraging you pupils, past and present, and parents, to get those sponsorship cards filled and to go onto our GoFundMe page and help us to reach the goal that we hope to get. Thank you very much.
Invite Emer Higgins to speak to us. Emer, please. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Ms. Fitzgerald, and thank you to everybody here today. I think this has been a really, really important event, and I know it's a big fundraiser as well. It's been a really difficult 2 years for everybody, and especially so for our young people. So just want to firstly start by congratulating you for surviving the last 2 years and for having the mental strength to do that, and to have the dedication to be able to come into school every day and to make your plans for the future. Part of that, one of the things I suppose when I worked myself before I was a TD, when I worked in the private sector, when we interviewed people, we always asked them what their qualifications were, how they did in school, how they did in college, but we also looked for people who were self-motivators, who could use their own initiative, and who were able to dedicate themselves to goals. And really, all of that is so relevant when it comes to your own well-being. And that's really what today is about. We've heard the really inspiring story from David around what you can do, what any of us can do when we put our minds to it, and why we need to do that, to invest in ourselves, because it's up to all of us to be able to do that. That's how we get the most out of life for ourselves as well, and how we fulfill our own potential. I think your outdoor classroom is going to be a great way of doing that. It's going to be a safe space to go to. It's going to be something that really shows all of the nature and all the creativity that is in the world. And I know you're doing a lot of work in the garden as well. Rosie's garden looks like it's going to be amazing, and that's really reminding us to take time out. It's reminding us to just slow down, and by doing that, you've heard it from David, like by doing just those small simple things, by taking a step back, by slowing down, problems can seem so much easier to overcome. And really, I suppose that's the message here today. It's a really positive message. It's about making sure as well that you all get out and fundraise for the big walk, because it's going to only happen if you get the money. And I know the Parents Association have been tremendous at supporting all you guys through the last 2 years, and providing all these initiatives to give you so much positivity in the schoolyard. And Ms. Fitzgerald and her whole team have been massive supports. But now it's time for you guys to support them. And that means getting your sponsorship cards out, and it means developing your own confidence by being confident enough to go up to somebody and say, "Hi, would you sponsor me for that walk?" And in that vein, I have 2 tenors for the first 2 girls who come up to me to ask me for sponsorship. So best of luck to all of you. Thank you so much. Well done.
And to say that I have been talking to Student Council this morning, and the council will be consulting with all of the different year groups, because we always like to inject a bit of fun into exercise, and they have the idea of possibly having each year group dress up as one of the decades. So I know you'll probably have different ideas about that. The council will talk to you, but you can start thinking about it if you want to be the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, or the future. Okay, so we're looking forward to it. Thank you everyone, have a good day. Take care.
Take my hand and we can go walking, and we can talk about whatever is on your mind. Be my friend